All right, so I saw this viral video, and I didn't watch the whole thing. I just watched a snippet of it, and the snippet of it was pretty funny to me because it was dealing with this dude talking about single mothers, multiple baby daddies, being top tier men, and I thought it was pretty funny. The clip I saw. Then somebody suggested that I watch the whole thing, watch the entire thing, and react to it. So that's what I'm going to do in real time right now is react to the entire pop the balloon, whatever type of shit this is. Everybody been watching these videos, and they're pretty. I've watched a few, and they're pretty entertaining. They're pretty funny. You got the Turtle Man, I think. Yeah, a few characters on this show so far, and so, but really, without watching the entire video yet, I already know what it boils down to is just a matter of opinions and preferences because everybody's going to have their opposing views, their opposing perspectives and experiences that lead them to having their own opinions and preferences, and that's really what it all about boils down to. And there's no sanctioning board to really stamp what is right and what's wrong. Everybody has to figure that out for themselves and um, navigate the emotions that come with opposing opinions and preferences. Navigate the decisions and the choices that you make according to those opinions and preferences and the opposing opinions and preferences of someone else. A lot of times, and again, this is before even watching this, it's just knowing human nature. A lot of times, we want the opinions and preferences of someone that we admire or someone that we like. We want those to match ours. And when they don't, that's what creates the disconnect, the conflict, the emotions. Usually, you don't care about the opinions and preferences of someone else if you don't care about that person, or if you don't care about what that person thinks, or if you don't admire them and hold them in any type of regard. So that's really what this boils down to. So when I watch these videos, that's what I want to bring to the collective conversation, and just try to add value to the thoughts of the collective consciousness. And of course, it is entertainment, so edutainment. This is so. Before we get into that, I want you to encourage you to like, share, subscribe, give your comments, dislike it, argue with me, talk to me. I talk back, and let's get into it.
Hello, welcome in. I'll have you hold this.
How you doing, Alette?
Good, good. How are you? Can we get your
Great.
name?
My name is Brian.
Brian, how old are you?
I'm 40.
40
I'll
and
be 41 in September.
Okay.
Okay, so knowing the history of the show so far, watching this is good. It starts off good because nobody has popped their balloon on his initial walkout. That happens a lot. On the initial walkout, the man gets half of the balloons, if not, I've seen all the balloons pop just on the initial walkout. And so that's encouraging. I guess they like the way they like what they see on first impression.
Hey, it's coming up.
Yeah.
And Brian, what do you do?
I'm an aircraft mechanic
Very
for a major airline.
All right.
So
Now,
fix planes.
hmm
I want you to get home safe.
we appreciate you.
Okay, so he's he's trying to display. I don't know if he's putting on the show. We all put on the show, but he's got the debonair suavemente thing going so far. He's trying to sell. He's trying to sell that. Nobody's popped their balloon so far. Let's see.
And now, what are some things that you like to do for fun?
Things I like to do for fun. I like trail riding.
Mm,
I live in Houston.
okay.
I'm from New Orleans, but I like to ride horses. I'm a country guy. Okay. I'm still.
He was about to say I'm a country because I say the same thing. That's actually a good catch hand phrase. Just as an aside, it's a good catch hand phrase because usually, universally, women tend to like country boys with some city refinement. That's always a good catch hand.
A city, but I like to do country things.
Got
I like to read. I'm from the ghetto, but I am a nerd. Okay, I like to read. I want to know about things that I don't know. Okay, I like to go lounges, right? I like to go to museums. You know,
So bro saying all the right things. He's saying all the right things that for the most part are going to be universally appealing to a woman. So he's saying all the right things. 40 years old, he's got some experience. He knows he's been around. He knows what he's doing.
I just like to really have a good time.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice.
She popped
Now,
her
what are some
balloon
things
now.
that you're looking for in a woman?
Transparency, for sure. Transparency.
Okay.
If I can't see who you are when I meet you, then I would never know, right? Loyalty. That really for men, that's a big thing. Loyalty. I need to know when you out partying, having a good time, that you loyalty and you faithful to a man like me.
Okay. Now, what are some of your deal breakers?
Deal breakers. I really don't have deal breakers, right? Because I'm from the ghetto, so I understand that we do a lot of things in our past and in our youth that is really a problem. So I don't really have any deal breakers. But as far as deal breakers, I don't really have any.
Okay, so yeah, him not having deal breakers, that struck a chord with a few of the ladies. Um, I'd be curious to hear what he says as far as not having deal breakers. I think we all have deal breakers, but let's continue. Yeah, we all have deal breakers or boundaries, or maybe he. I'm interested to see what his response is.
Okay. All right. So we did get a few pop balloons.
Okay,
Let's go on over to those ladies, see why they ended up popping.
no problem.
All right. Let's start right on over here. If we can have your name and age.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Parker, but I go by Mrs.
Okay.
I'm 39, and
You say you're
And
39?
39.
All right.
And Mrs. Parker, what do you do?
I'm a professional makeup artist.
A makeup artist?
Yeah, shout out to Makeup by Mrs. Parker.
All right. And Mrs., why did you end up popping your balloon?
I popped your balloon because you said you don't have any deal breakers, and everybody has to have some type of deal breaker, so you have to have something that you don't like. But you look really nice. You look dapper. Nice to meet you.
It's definitely nice to meet you. When it comes to deal breakers, I'm not a surface level dating type of guy, right?
Okay.
I don't really care about your past. I'm from the ghetto. I'm from New Orleans, right? So nothing that you've done in your past doesn't matter to me because that was
I don't know. Maybe he's not understanding. But when I think of deal breaker, I think of something not from the past. I think of a deal breaker, something that you do, something that is a part of you. Like if you, I don't know, for example, a silly deal breaker for some people is picking their toenails in the bed. If you are a deliberate toenail picker, for some that might be a deal breaker. That's a behavior. That's a deal breaker. That's not something from your past. That's an ever present reality is that you keep clipping these toenails. You keep picking your toenails, and I got toenail shavings all in the bed, and I'm thinking I think I'm eating a snack in the bed, and I drop a crumb. I pick up the crumb. I pick up a toenail with it. That's not cool. So that's a deal breaker for some. That might be no. I'm not. I'm cool. You can pick your toenails, but we're gonna have a conversation. I pick my toenails, but I don't. I put them in a safe space. So we can work through that with as far as deal breaker. That's not a deal breaker for me, but it might be a deal breaker for someone else. So I don't think he's quite understanding what a deal breaker might be.
before me. After me, that's when you upgrade yourself. So that's why I said I don't have any deal breakers because I don't want to say that, hey, you're not my type because of what you've done in your past, not knowing that that wasn't right or wrong.
And you know what? I've been around. I got experience. I know people. I know things. I've been around. I've seen guys who talk like that. I've seen that before. I've seen that before. Yeah, them boys, boy, it's like a twitch. It's like a twitch. That Negro right there, he can. I know he can go. He can take it somewhere. He can take it somewhere where nobody wants to see him go. I know that. And he from New Orleans. Look, being from Texas, especially like when Katrina happened, we got a lot of up close interaction. They are our cousins anyway, in a lot of ways. But then like thinking about Katrina when that happened, we got a real close interaction with New Orleans residents in a different type of way, and they are different. They are different. They are endearing in a lot of aspects, but a lot of men they are just naturally aggressive. Just they don't even realize it, but they're very emotional and very deeply rooted spiritual, sensitive people. Sensitive in the manner, not attaching any type of bad things to it, but sensitive in the best definition of it. The correct definition of them is that they feel very deeply and are very emotional people. So all of that bottled together can be a wonderful mixture of dynamics to create a indelible and endearing person, but then it can also be a ticking time bomb. I see it. I see it. I seen that before. I'm noticing that. I seen that.
Okay, so that's why.
Respect.
And now, is Mr. someone that is your type?
She definitely she got this cowgirl going on. I'm from the south, right? You know, so I like your outfit. I
over
like
that
what you
now.
got going on. Definitely.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to our next lady over here. If we can have your name and age.
Hi, I'm Tracy, and I'm 37. I'm from New Orleans as well, and I live in the DMV. And the reason why I popped my balloon is because I am from New Orleans, and just the energy just wasn't vibing with. Like, I think you're super cool. I love the way that you look, but it's
See, she said it before I even said it. She know. She like. She knows. She's like, I've seen him before. I seen him before. And again, New Orleans dudes. Man, I got a few homies that's from New Orleans, and they down, down. And the more he talks, I can hear his accents. He's down, down for you. But they are aggressive. They just are naturally, just always just gruff dudes, gruff dudes. Good dudes though, good-hearted dudes. I'll say that, good-hearted dudes. They don't like to be betrayed. When he said loyalty at the beginning, makes sense. Him being from New Orleans, they anybody would, you would think, but that's just a part of their culture though. Like betrayal is in the slightest bit. Like they gonna go hard for you, but any type of betrayal, they take that seriously. They don't like rejection from females. New Orleans dudes. I remember being in the River Center Mall and watching River Center Mall. One time was a hub of teenage and young adult activity in San Antonio, and you see guys, you see the interaction between women and men, guys and girls, courtship, right? And I'd be out there, do my thing, spit my game. You see New Orleans dudes, and they just will be aggressive, and then you go on part of the game, and that's something that's missing. I don't want to get off on a tangent, but that's something that's missing. I don't think young people have that 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 same kind of dynamic because like I have a teenage daughter and she tells me how guys they'll be at a party. She hasn't partied a lot, but go to parties, go to get-togethers. Guys will look at you from across the room and then text you later or get slide in your DM later. In my time, we didn't have that capability. You better shoot your shot then or you miss. And so part of that is going to become you gonna shoot some shots and you gonna miss a lot of shots. My generation, I think that made us tougher, and it made us more savvy. It made us more, or you just got left on the sidelines. But and at that time, during that time, New Orleans dudes, they just shout out to New Orleans dudes. No love. If this doesn't apply, let it fly. But a lot of New Orleans dudes, they would not take rejection well at all. And yeah, let's continue.
as far as like energy, I feel like I've dated guys from New Orleans before, and it just did not work out for me. So I think because we come from the same place, it just clashes.
Okay. So since we come from the same place,
Got
it
that
clashes.
hand twitching, boy.
You know,
I just haven't had
Don't
really
like
good
that.
relationship experiences dating
you-
people from my hometown.
you never met Brian. You never met Brian, but today that you
Maybe.
did. You know what I mean? And today definitely you was a winner. But the fact that you're from New Orleans, I respect that because I respect my home and I'm prideful on being a Louisianimal, right? And I definitely was feeling you. But
Thank you. Like I
since you
said, you're
popped
very
on me,
handsome.
we don't really deal with rejection too well. We respect that, but we move on.
See, I told you look, I told you before you even watched this, before you even know it, they don't. I said it. They don't like rejection. He just said it. he said it. And I know what I'm talking about with these dudes, man. I've been around, man. I've been around these cats, man. I love them to death, dog. One of my good partners right now from New Orleans, but yeah, that boy, there's a ball of emotion sometimes, man. And as you get older, you learn. I try to be an example of calmness, calm manhood. Okay, that version of it, and I get, I think people respond well to it. But I have an appreciation, and I try to be mindful of it and tap into and not lose that aggressive form of manhood. Um, anyway, don't let me go on a tangent.
And then
Nice to
Tracy,
meet you.
Tracy, we actually didn't get. What do you do?
So I work in management. So the person that I kind of link with, we can kind of go into further about my career. Yeah.
What industry? What management? What industry?
Um, I wouldn't like to say.
You see, I agree. Wouldn't Brian, man, Brian.
Yeah, I would like to discuss that with the person that I match with. I think that's a little more in depth.
Okay. You're looking good today. I love the orange.
Let's go to
Definitely.
our next lady here.
Yeah,
We can
you
have
looking
your
good.
name.
You looking good today. Yeah, Brian. I don't even want. I'm not gonna, man. I'm not gonna go there.
Name and age.
My name is Chanel Kidd, and I am originally from Gary, Indiana. I live here in Phoenix, Arizona. Um,
Okay, so I always wondered where the show is based out of. Show is based in Phoenix, Arizona. I will remember that now. This show is based on in Arizona. Shout out to Phoenix, Arizona. I've been there plenty times. Got lots of relationships and contacts and business in Phoenix. Love Phoenix.
Coco Stiletto on Instagram. I have my own business. I'm a business consultant, and I also create trivia games that I sell on Amazon.
Okay, and I'm sorry we didn't get your age.
I am 42, and the reason why I popped my balloon is pretty much, and you already answered. You didn't have any deal breakers. I need someone that knows what he wants. I can be a handful sometimes as well. So, and it can be anything. So it's got to be something that makes you tick, that you can be honest about. So that's why I pop my balloon. And you kind of remind me of my nephew, just kind of. It's just me.
Can I remind you of my nephew? Okay. So you said the deal breakers would be because I don't have a deal breaker?
What? What did he say? Can't remember. Never mind.
Correct.
Okay, well, I could have a
I
clean
need, I need a man to tell me something. Tell me what he want and don't want.
And-
If
and
you
that
can't
will-
tell me
and-
that,
and
I
that-
might jump all over you.
and that will come. Definitely. I would definitely tell you where you're going wrong at. But as far as a deal breaker, I have a clean slate with everybody. I'm the type to trust you before I not trust you. I'm going to give you that grace before I don't give you that grace, right? But I respect how you feel.
I like that response. Might circle back, but
You might go get back?
might.
You want your balloon back?
Do you want that balloon back?
Not yet.
Okay.
You got to get the gab I see, so we're just gonna.
I got the gift of gab.
Let's go on
It's
to our
Why you repeat everything they say?
transparency,
ladies.
love.
Okay, if we can start off with your name and age.
Hi, I'm Janae. I'm 34.
Hello,
And
Janae.
Janae, what do you do?
I'm in school for fashion design. I'm an office assistant, and I'm a new entrepreneur. Just about to launch my fitness clothing line called WeFit.
Okay, and why did you end up popping your balloon for Brian?
Hey, Brian. I love the way you speak, but for me, it was the pants. I don't like the pants too tight. I'm kind of.
All right. Yeah, I knew we was gonna get to that. Every show just reveals the level of shallowness and superficiality that is rampant in our culture with these women. He can change. He can change that, like, or you can coach him. You can help him. Like, do you find him attractive? Do you like him? Do you like what he's saying? Like, now I'm all about the presentation. You know what I'm saying? All about the presentation. Your appearance or lack thereof can run the interference. Okay, but it can, at the same time, if everything else is working, which I believe it was for him, I don't see. I don't get that shallow. I don't get the shallowness. I just don't.
Ghetto too, so I like them a little loose, and that was just it for me.
How old are you?
34.
34. How many kids you got?
I got 3.
You got 3?
Yep.
How many baby daddies?
I have 3.
You got 3 baby daddies.
You got 3? See, this is where he gets a little turned out. I think this is the clip I saw.
Okay.
I should have said 0, because it's just me.
You gonna lie to the public?
No, I have 3, but it's just me. I'm a single parent. There's no man in my life.
No man in your life?
Nope.
Why is the
my
reason for
boys.
there no man in your life?
Why he why you gotta repeat everything they say? It's like, look at this stance too.
Well, my first child, his father passed away, and the other 2 are nowhere to be found. So, what can you do?
They do you like that? What's wrong with them?
Something. Only God knows.
Or is there something wrong with you?
Possibly.
Oh,
But I think I'm just fine.
I think you're just fine as well.
Thank you.
Right. But to say that a 41-year-old man is disqualified because of his pants,
You're 41?
I'll be 41 in September.
Okay, because I was like, I thought you said 40.
I'll be 41 in September. That's coming up.
I like it. It's okay for you. It's not my style. You know, with everything going on, I like the pants to be a little baggy, that's all.
Where you from, love?
Kansas City.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay. How long you been out here?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Let's go on over here. If we can have your name and age.
I am Venusian, 39.
And you said Venusian? And what do you do?
that's a
I'm a
name.
TikTok creator manager.
Cool. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I'm a free-spirited woman, so having to check in with somebody like they are my parent is something that I don't subscribe to. So that's why I pop my balloon.
Oh boy.
What do you mean check in like they're your parent?
The way that you were discussing how somebody
I,
needs to constantly, when we're out and about,
he didn't say anything about constantly checking in. It's all about respect. It's just he said showing some respect. I believe he said just I need to know that you're being loyal when you're out. I need to know. So whatever that looks like, I know he didn't say anything about checking in constantly, and it really is a matter of respect. It's something that if my woman respects me, which my woman does, so I don't demand anything. It's when your presence and your actions and your character should engender someone. It should motivate someone to show that respect to where it's not even a thought. And then if instructions or if communication can correct anything that is lacking, anything that is in conflict or could be a possible point of conflict. So she just sounds like one of those. I'm like,
to text or call and check in, that's something that I don't subscribe to. So that's why I pop my balloon.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm a TikTok creator manager.
TikTok creator manager? For what company? Or is it for yourself?
It's for TikTok.
For TikTok?
Social media.
Okay. Social media?
Social media agent.
Okay. How many kids you have?
I have 2.
How many baby daddies?
2.
Okay. So you didn't think after the first one that you wanted to marry the next one?
No.
No? Okay.
look at he getting aggressive.
I was just asking because for real men,
Yeah.
that's what matters. Your first one is given. Your second one, the mistake is on you.
Oh, is it?
No, that's not all the way wrong. I know I know Brian is slowly falling out of favor with the public who's watching this. I can feel it. The more this goes on, the average person is going to watch this and not be in favor of Brian, following the trend of the balloons, right? But he's not wrong, and I saw a clip. This is where I saw the clip. He's not wrong in what he's saying. So let's just continue.
Well, there's
That's definitely
circumstances
right.
under why I got
That's
pregnant,
definitely
but
right.
that's nor here or there, and that's
Yeah,
not
but
what I'm
you-
here for.
Okay, definitely. You're a beautiful woman, though.
Thank you.
But I respect your answer.
Thank you. Let's Go back here. Okay, if we can start off with your name and age.
I'm Shay and I'm 37.
How you doing, Shay?
I'm doing amazing.
Shay, what do you do?
So I work for the county and I have my own hair business and a few other little small businesses.
All right, and why did you end up popping your balloon?
So originally I was feeling it. I like I don't want to say a bad boy, but I like somebody that's outspoken. But the question of, I feel like you're challenging the women. Oh, how many baby daddies you got? And then, it just, does that matter? You say future, so that's their past. It's not their future. How many kids do you have?
I have one daughter. She's 19.
Do you want more?
I do.
My balloon still pop because I don't want any more.
Okay.
You don't want any more?
Not at all.
You can't have any more. You
No, I'm
choose
choosing.
not
I
to
choose
have
not
any
to have
more.
any more. I have a
Okay.
almost 14-year-old.
Why would you ask somebody that you can't have someone? That could trigger a lot. That's not cool, Brian. What if she actually can't? And it's for a reason that's kind of traumatic, dog. That's not cool. But I think it's a kind of a nervous reaction in a sense that he's repeating everything that they say. I've seen people do that as far as conversation. It's no different than people who say, "You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?" Don't realize it's like that's his reaction. I believe.
Okay, yeah. Well, the reason for me asking their past about the baby daddies because it lets me know where they're going in their future. If you didn't want to have a baby daddy for the second time, then that lets me know that you was uncareful of what you're dealing with.
It's not all the way wrong. That's not all the way wrong, Brian. It's actually pretty right, and that's gonna stir some emotions, but it's true. That's true what he said. Um, if you don't, there are we and it's we make the comparison to other cultures, not for the purpose of comparing for comparison's sake, for the purpose of seeing what works for them, what doesn't work for us. And with other cultures, there is an idea of being very selective, very careful, not to have multiple baby daddies, and that's why that is not a part of other cultures in mass. Now, obviously, there are pockets. You'll find pockets where this applies, or something applies, but and I don't have any data to support that right now. I'm not going to look up any data because this is something that just came to me right now watching this. I don't have any data, but stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. So they're steeped in truth, and many other cultures just don't carry on the tradition of women having multiple baby daddies. Like, in some cultures, if you have kids by a man, and if he dies, if he whatever, a woman is just not going to have other kids. They're just going to choose not to have any other relationships, and definitely not have any kids by another man because they don't want the stigma or all the challenges that come with having another baby daddy. So, it's a lot of it is a culture thing, and that's why we have these conversations to start possibly changing the culture, or at least start looking at things differently, and take the emotion out of it. Put some logic into it. Take the emotion out of it. That's really what this boils down to.
You necessarily
Okay.
believe that somebody's past is their past that don't determine their future.
Not,
Because
not,
I mean, I can look at you and say like you made people make mistakes.
Like she was about to suggest that Brian been to the pen. She was about to go there. I don't want to make that assumption. I never want to make that assumption about a black man because people have made that assumption about me, and whatever. And you can make that assumption about a man, and it's very likely if you look at again stereotypes for a reason. It's very likely that you will come across a black man that will have a neck tattoo, that carries himself in a certain way, that does all this. You could assume that they had done time, and you would not be wrong in that assumption, but you could be. That's why you don't make the assumption. I think that's where she was going. I think she was about to suggest that Brian did some time. I would like to know though. Have you done some time, Brian? I want to know. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
And it could happen. I feel like once or twice, okay, some things become a choice, but
No,
your
no,
past
no.
doesn't determine
When it
it.
come to once is a mistake. Twice, that's on you.
Okay, so then
Okay. That's in theory, yes. But how many of us have had to knock our head making the same mistake, thinking we can do the wrong thing the right way and do it better, and just have to knock our head a few times before we understand that, okay, no, this is not going to work for me. All of us have done that. All of us have fallen and come short of the glory of God, Brian. So, yes, that sounds good in a philosophical sense. Once is a mistake. Twice is on you, you know. But some of us don't. And it depends on the act. Some things we don't realize until what the consequences of it. So we do continue on, and we don't understand the ramifications. So we do continue on in a bad behavior for a time until we fully realize the ramifications and fully mature and understand that's not a right thing to do. So I don't fully agree with that.
and say like you get into a relationship with somebody, you get married, and things don't work. So then I guess you made a mistake, and then so you once is a mistake, and then twice is. I don't believe in that because I believe
She was
things happen.
bless your heart,
Sweetheart.
child. She was trying to work it. She lost her train of thought. I do that a lot. I know if you watch me, I do that. So, but she was trying to get deep with it, trying to make a point, and it didn't land.
Twice is on you.
Okay,
You
but-
should have learned from that very first
No,
mistake. Okay,
lessons are
and
to be
not
learned.
saying that your child is a mistake, right?
I'm glad I'm glad there are people like you, Brian, that learn from that first mistake. I ain't even gonna sit there and say that because, yeah, well, I guess that makes me stupid. Okay, I've been stupid a lot in my life.
Right?
Of course
But the
not.
fact that you chose the wrong man to have kids with, and secondly, not to have a marriage after the next one or before
Marriage
the next
doesn't
one.
determine, and I'm a person that wants to be married, but marriage don't determine anything. I done known people to be married for a long time and it don't work out, baby.
That's not. Well, see, that's not a good. It's not a good defense now, my lady in the pink. She looks like she got a wagon, boy.
So, yeah, you are no, honey bun.
Okay.
You too aggressive now.
No problem. Well, you know, the aggressiveness that comes from a southern man, right?
Baby, let me explain
And we
something to
stand
You
up
don't come from a southern. I'm a southern man. I'm not aggressive. I'm a finesse player.
on what we
My
talking
roots
about.
come from Texas, so
Okay, I'm from
South
New
Texas.
Orleans.
okay, so
You know what I
the
mean?
South,
So
the
when
battles
you-
of the South.
All right,
like I
Brian.
said again.
Brian, let's move on.
Okay,
Let's move on. Let's
no
move on.
problem. Have a good day, love.
See, I'm telling you, is that he is a ticking time bomb. Catch him on the wrong day. Catch Brian 20 years ago. Brian 20 years ago was probably hell.
If we can have your name and age.
Hi, my name is Shay, and I'm 37.
And Shay, what do you
Hello,
do?
Shay.
I am an insurance adjuster, and I'm just waiting to take my real estate license.
Nice. And why did you end up popping your balloon?
Just based off of the energy, I didn't want to pop it too soon. I like to feel you out first, but just based off of the energy and the
Tell you, energy is energy don't lie.
conversations that were had between the women, just overall, that's it.
So you a follower?
No, I went out. That's why I said I didn't pop it right away. I wanted to see for myself.
So you didn't like my responses and the women that I responded to? You didn't like the responses?
Just the energy from it, yeah.
The energy is too strong for you, huh?
Not necessarily too strong. I just didn't too much care for it.
That's understandable. I respect that, though.
Thank you.
Let's go on over here. If we can have your name and age.
Davinia, and I'm 41.
And Davinia, what do you do?
I'm a compliance analyst.
And so he got dropped by every one of them. Dog, I know Brian is boiling inside. He boiling. Boy, he boiling like a pot of gumbo.
For a payment processing company.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
I popped my balloon. I was waiting because I was trying to feel the energy, the vibe, the connection, chemistry. And I believe he was speaking very well, very suave, handsome gentleman. So I was trying to give it some time. But then it started to feel like an attack. And I didn't like or agree with the attack. So that was why I popped my balloon.
Okay. So you say it felt like an attack?
Right. You see that land that hand went right on.
Can you elaborate on that?
You don't judge
Yeah, he's
people from
swaying
their
now.
past,
Yeah,
or you
he
like to
pop
start
all
off
of
with a
them to pop
clean
them.
slate. I don't think that if a relationship
He,
works out for a
he
woman
done
that
been to
happens to
therapy. He
be
done
her
been anger
second,
management. He done been to anger management. No, or maybe he hasn't. That's just a nerd. Yeah, he's.
kids, her second baby daddy per se, I don't think that's her fault. So if she decides,
That is her fault. That's what it boils down to. Okay, that's the part. That's the emotion. That's the part that people tune in and zoom in on is the multiple baby daddies part. So let's talk about that, man. Um, I'll probably make a separate video talking specifically just straight about men and single mothers, stepdaddies. I want to watch a video about that stepdaddies, but um, multiple baby daddies. That would be a deal breaker for me. I'm not gonna lie to you, but that's my opinion. That's my preference. And at this point, that's not something I have to worry about because I'm a married man. So I'm I look at the dating pool. I look at the I converse with a few single friends, and I feel for you, and I feel no type of envy towards you. And as far as the just the nature of dating today seems is just I'm on the outside looking in, and I'm kind of snickering and laughing, but then at the same time I'm gathering information and just learning about human nature, the progressive the progressive movement of collective consciousness, because it moves. It is a collective consciousness. There's a reason why certain people, certain times, and certain generations have their own inherent qualities, their own inherent traits, and environments, and all the different factors that make up the characteristics of a generation. And right now, there's a characteristic of man versus woman. Um, what can you do for? It's very transactional. And again, opinions and preferences are being attacked. Okay, so me, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to date a woman with be with a woman with multiple baby daddies. I just wouldn't. I could always make exceptions though, but women, people have to accept that their choices will incite the judgment of others, and it will affect the choices of others, and that's really what this boils down to. And its very simple basic form is that you have to um, because if I were to find myself out in the dating market, I would be a single father. I would have a baby mama. I got one. I got all my kids, my three kids, my one woman. Okay, but that would put me in a pool to where certain women would not want to be with me because I have three kids and whatever, that was my choice. That has been my experience. Now, people get emotional because that opposing party is not in favor of the choices or the experience that I have. They don't want to be a part of that. But then you have to realize it comes down to having an abundance mindset. I know that's a kind of a term that people take and have really I hate when people take terms and just kind of they people mess up terms, right? They mess up, like, now everyone wants to say narcissist. Everyone wants to say all these different terms. I don't like that. But anyway, and I think that's been one, scarcity versus abundance. I think people can overdo them, overuse those phrases, and then kind of diminish the value of what it's really trying to convey. But nonetheless, an abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. I think that's what this boils down to when it comes to the opinions and preferences of others and how we can find harmony in that. You're not gonna find harmony with everyone. And you're going to encounter. It's possible that you will encounter that someone else with the opinions and the preferences, opposing opinions and preferences that you really admire, that you really would like to have compatibility with, they just don't. It's not the case. They don't agree with your opinions and your preferences. They are not. They don't. They don't comply. They don't have that same those same opinions and preferences. And but there's someone who will fit exactly what you need and what you want, and you have to believe that. You have to have that abundance, that mindset, that versus that scarcity mindset. So I'm not gonna continue watching all this. Brian and his ladies have entertained me enough, but I don't want to go into deep into the rabbit hole. I was gonna go deep into the rabbit hole about multiple baby daddies and what that means, but it means nothing. It means everything and it means nothing. Okay, everybody can make their own assessment of it. Everybody has their own opinions, preferences, and choices that they make from that, and you have to be able to deal with that. You have to deal with that from opposing parties. Um, but let's just love each other. Love yourself first. Love yourself more. I love myself, so there's nothing nobody could ever tell me about myself that I don't know or that I'm not willing to explore, and that would make me stop loving myself. And so I don't care about other people's opinions just that much. That's the thing about these. I was gonna read some comments, and but all I know is just a bunch of emotions. It's just a bunch of emotions about other people's opinions and preferences. So I won't even read the comments. Yeah, peace and blessings.